All right, so this is going to be a really fast review. I got done watching the Masters of the Universe Revelations Part 2. I'm gonna try to keep this like super. No, I'm not. I'm gonna make some points, but I'm not gonna go heavy into anything. I'm gonna give them the one compliment that I have for the show that wasn't in the as previous. The action, I actually enjoyed it. The action, I thought it was pretty cool. I thought it had some idealistic views. There was a little cool scene, but they do something. Like I said, there's gonna be spoiler alert. I'm not going deep and I'm not going long. He-Man had a really awesome thing that he did with his blade, but basically it was, for all intents and purposes, more of the same. The story flowed a little better, but when you have, first off, I'm also sick and tired of people going, but you're judging harsh on a kid's show. Two things. First thing, stop doing that, because if something you loved when you were growing up that you decided to watch, that they brought back, that they bastardized, you'd be crying and complaining too. I'm sick of that. Imagine myself as a grown man having a problem with a kid's show. Well, there's a scene, just to give you one example, where basically Evelyn pretty much makes a bunch of pole puns to seduce Skeletor, and basically pretty much say that their other pastime is getting down. So stop with the kids stuff. Miss me with that nonsense. We as fans are allowed to complain about anything we want, and if you try to minimize it, you're the problem with the society. So now that's out of the way, back to the thing. Kevin Smith kept talking about Evelyn. I really like Evelyn. So of course, Evelyn does a coup because all the men are stupid man things. I did think the Savage He-Man thing was funny, because it was kind of what I thought it was going to be, just a raging fake Hulk thing to kind of sell toys. It wasn't even in there. It was in there for a bit, but it wasn't like anything, over the top crazy. But it was actually fun to watch. Like I said, the action, them putting in a lot more action made this more palpable, because it wasn't as, it's gonna sound funny when I say this, it wasn't as story driven. Great, they blocked the road. Jeez. So with it had a story, don't get me wrong, but it wasn't as pronounced. So by subverting the story a little bit more and pumping up the action, it made it better. However, I can tell that I got a really strong feeling that they definitely changed some of the story, and that's why it took a little while, I think, towards the end, because they kind of made a couple shifts and it felt a little awkward. And I think my prediction was right. I think the reason why they took that break and took so long was because they wanted to see how fans would react before they tried to change or adjust it more to the original. Now you got Tila, who all of a sudden, after every sorceress before her, goes into this, well, I'm gonna do it my way because I'm the bestest ever, and blah 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 blah. The fight was cool. The past history thing was actually really cool to see some of the history of Eternia, but they made an adjustment. Now Tila is supposed to do something, so they kind of basically just did what the story was originally supposed to do, but I felt the changes to get there, because it kind of switched off like that. And also too, it felt very pushed on about Tila and this whole thing of, well, no, mom and everyone, I'm gonna do it my way. And somehow she's like, this gives me strength, and the thousands upon thousands of generations, nobody's ever been able to just do that. But because she has, I guess, such a strong bond, all of a sudden she's like, I can just do it because I want to. Which is, I get they were trying to do the I am woman, hear me roar, break tradition, But the thing is that there's a reason why the sorceress is in the castle and stuck in the castle. It's partially because it's supposed to control the power of how powerful the sorceress is, to kind of give her a limit, number one. And number two, it's also a thing to give the sorceress to be able to protect that place at all times and not be, you know, all frolicking in the woods or something, and then you got, you know, the place is attacked and completely unguarded, and now she has to get back. Like, there's reasons. Also, too, she could just miraculously do spells. Like, after she copied off her mom, she could just do spells. And Evelyn, who's been a spellcaster the entire time, apparently couldn't fully see her. Also, it didn't make sense because Skeletor gifted Evelyn the power to be a sorceress, because he said there always needs to be a sorceress, even though then everyone kept telling Evelyn about how she's better than what she is, and he just kept saying, like, every character, you're better, you're better, you're better, but you're better. And it was also weird because then I'm like, but Skeletor is the one who gifted her the power to be the sorceress. So in turn, the thing that gives you the power should be more powerful than you. And somehow they then got sorceress, so she tricked Skeletor with innuendo, if you get my drift. So once again, bump you on the whole, it's a kid's show. No. And they were like showing the bodysuit where all of a sudden you can see details on the physical body of the people. So no. Then Evelyn gets the sword and her hair gets cut short, which was already weird. And then she just turns into like this massive mound of muscle. Now, if you look at this person here on screen, this is Jade Cargill. She is one of the most beautiful women I've seen in wrestling, yet she is very muscular. And here are her measurements. I'm talking about height-wise and weight, right? Most women do not look like her. If you watch her in wrestling when she's wrestling people, they don't look like her. That is a unique thing. But still, Jade Cargill looks like a woman. But then they did the stuff where the sorceress and everyone else kind of looked a little masculine. Like, with the art, like, it was like they were masculine. See, Jade Cargill, how she still looks like a woman, even though she has all these muscles. Why is it that the sorceress, and I know I'm a guy, so I shouldn't talk about this, but it was weird because when I watched the sorceress, I'm like, wait, if she just had a kid, why? And I have a lot of, you know, female family members, female friends, things enhanced to feed a child. It was weird. It was like they pushed it down, and even with Evelyn, she looked like a dude. It was weird. You know, so these are the things that kind of stood out to me that was just strange. Like I said, the fighting was fun. That made it better. So, and they kind of left it open to do more, which is weird because Mattel already has that He-Man show that I haven't had a chance to watch. Like, you know, the one that skipped leg day, that they're trying to do more of a Power Rangers kind of thing. But I haven't watched it yet, so I can't really judge it. The animation looks a little but it may fit for what they're trying to do. That happens sometimes. But my rating for this is a sinking ship, which is better than what it previously was, but still, by them, they really dumbed down the men in order to do something. Now, there was some scenes that were better, like He-Man's thing, it was better, but it still felt like men are dumb, women are everything, blah, 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 even when people go, well, it's Masters of the Universe, that doesn't matter. And when you ask most people, and I've asked random people, what's the first thing you think of when Masters of the Universe? You know the first thing comes out of their mouth? He-Man. Doesn't matter if you're trying to do your little one-star argument. People know He-Man. Just like if you ask people to name superheroes, somewhere in there, they're going to name either Spider-Man, Batman, or Superman. At least one of those characters are going to be in their list if you say name 5 superheroes. Partially just because the characters have always been there. So that's my rating. Those are my weird quirks with it. The action was good. I actually enjoyed the action quite a bit. That's the kind of the saving grace that got me through it, where it didn't feel like torture this time. So, sinking ship. Tell me what you think. Geek Protagonist, you stay safe, you stay healthy, you stay real. And I'll see you.